Ow!
Yeah.
Little.
Exactly.
I remember like crawling into like a space when I was like on a ship, and bro, like I didn't think I had anything that had to do with like being claustrophobic until I got into that space.
Yeah,
and
you're
I just
really.
saw-
I know, for real.
dude, my eye was dying.
That
bro.
went into his spinal cord.
Dude.
Yo, Carl was.
In a different dimension.
You're abusing that
Like,
left eye,
Dude,
bro.
it
Carl-
itches, dog. I don't know. This left eye has been itching for days.
Get into it.
It's the third day out here, bro.
It's my third day.
Oh, man.
Wait, no, because she's also sad.
She is.
So her and I like were connected, like, because when I look at her, like I already know what she's talking about just by the way she's looking at me, and we just laugh.
Yes. No,
It's
I love
such
that.
a horrendous thing. Oh, you're recording already. Oh, did you press that?
He did.
Oh goodness, they just heard this whole thing.
They did.
Cool.
Hi, Diana. Love you, Pookie.
Pookie.
Hey, Deanna, they're just talking about you, Deanna.
No, I love my Pookie down.
No, I'm trying to have Deanna on the pod too.
Period.
I'm trying to have Deanna on the pod too one of these days because she is hilarious. Deanna is just so funny.
love
If
her.
I were to have both of you,
We would never get anything done.
James and I wouldn't even talk.
Exactly. Like,
We-
we would just yap
You guys
for
would
like
just
2
yap.
hours straight. Because that's what we do.
Tea time with Bree and Dee.
Exactly.
I'm telling
Wait,
you,
that's so cute.
it's so easy to make a podcast with your friends.
Wait, that's
you just
so cute.
have
Tea
to
time
do it.
with Dee and Bree.
Oh my goodness! And you guys should have like a setup with like actual tea.
Yes.
I'm like,
Because
girl,
the
what
tea
are
is
we talking
piping.
about today?
Because the
Wait,
tea is piping.
What is going on in the world?
Wait, Carl, which one are you?
I'm 3, bro.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, too loud.
Yeah. I was like, I'm around like 6 or 7.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I good here?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Celsius sponsor us, please.
Yes. Yo, what is up, y'all? It's your boy, Carl.
And it's your boy James.
And it's your girl.
Briana.
And welcome back to another episode of the Why Not podcast, where we have a guest named.
Briana.
And
Oh. Hey.
Love you, Pookie.
so, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're listening on the Spotify, big kiss for you. We need more love on our Spotify, guys.
Yeah,
Bree
dude.
listens to us on the
I
Spotify.
do listen
You
to
listen
the
on
Spotify,
Spotify?
mainly. Yeah.
So we
I
really
just
do
love
appreciate
hearing
that.
people's voices for some reason. It's because the whole thing about this whole podcasting thing that I love is that like it just feels like you're not alone in the room. You know,
That's so
you're having
true.
you're involved with the conversation, and like you have your own opinions that you want to talk about the topic, and it just I don't know.
I
There's just
agree.
something about it. I love podcasts.
All right. Before we get into what we were going to talk about, just a fun little story. Before we shot this episode, we shot an episode prior. But before that, when we were getting ready to shoot that episode, we found out that one of our mics weren't working. So
Yeah.
we had to go on a quick run to Best Buy,
We
grab
did.
some new mics. Bree tagged along, so it was like a nice little
We had a little adventure. We'll
It
put
was a
clips
field
up on it.
trip.
We took a video.
Yeah, I'll put a little bit of a clippy clip on there so you guys can enjoy that. But now we got a new mic, so we don't have to worry about that. And it was just one of those moments where we're just like, why not just get new mics right now?
Why not?
Why not?
So here we are. And with that being said, Carl, I know that you have a question.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you ask the question because
Okay.
it's your question.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to take the credit for your question. All right. So I'm gonna let you take it.
Okay, yeah. So, what is it? I definitely did want to talk about this within like a group of people.
I heard that.
That wasn't cushion.
I
What did you
heard
say?
that and like kind of felt it. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
It was
yeah, that's
hard.
hard rock.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Do you want a blankie?
Condolences.
I've
To that hard
Sincerest
rock
condolences.
ass, baby.
I popped my cherry.
Yeah, this
Thanks
is
to
like
this
this is like a
couch.
chill. This is gonna be like the very chill episode. So everybody just sit back,
Really relax.
get
Get
cozy.
cozy.
Are you cozy? Is
I'm
this
cozy.
comfy? Is
No,
this
I feel-
comfy
I
for
feel
you?
cozy. I feel good.
A lot of our guests have said that like whenever we do our podcast shoots, it's always like a cozy feeling.
It
Like we're just
is.
all just vibing and talking.
It is.
As friends should.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the other day, I was outside, and this is like me on like a loop of wanting to do a lot of things. Of like, I want every interaction or everything that I experience to be something that can be talked about,
Mhm.
right? So like, I'm always looking for something that's like going on because being on a podcast really makes you think about like, there's so many things that I don't realize that's happening right in front of me that I feel like should be talked about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as I was sitting out on this porch the other day, I was thinking about the concept of like, what's your point of view? And what I mean by that is like, what is your definition of life? Like, what do you think it's all about? And a lot of people have a lot of different answers. And the reason why I want to ask is because I would love to know the answers of my friends of like, what do you think? Because I believe I know my point of view of life, and you know, everyone just is like, basically the question is like, what are we reaching? Like, what are we trying to get to?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, how did you want to start it off? Do you want to go like left to the? Actually, no. Guest honors, you go.
Yeah.
What's your point of view?
Just
What do you
say
think it's
ladies
all
first.
about, man? Like, why do you think we're here?
Do you mean like the collective we, or do you mean like individually?
I mean, I want to know like your individual answer of what you think this
Okay.
life is supposed to be.
Okay. For me specifically, my end goal for life is happiness. I just want to be able to do whatever it is that I do, and be happy with that. Like, I've always made it clear with like, this is like a thing with parents. I feel like when it comes to your
For
career
sure,
and like your
dude.
job, and it's like, it's always the concern about money, and it's always the concern about,
Yeah.
you know, oh, do this and you'll get paid more. Or, oh, do this and you'll, you know, whatever. I've always preached to them, like, I've never cared about money.
Yeah.
Like, I promise you, if I had no money and I was like living on the streets, but I was happy, I would be okay. Like, I just want to be happy in this life so bad. And I think everybody everybody sees happiness in a different way. But for me, like, I want to be content. I want to be grateful for what it is that I have, whether that's like in a 2-bedroom apartment or like in a mansion. Like, I just want to be happy. I don't care like about things or about like achievements or accomplishments or whatever anybody thinks like success is. I think your own success is found like within yourself and like how you feel about yourself. Like, I find success in how I feel about myself. Like, am I happy with who I am? Am I the person that I want to be? Like, am I projecting who I truly want to be, or is it like, am I unhappy with myself?
Yeah.
And that's like where I want to be, is I just want to be my truest self and be happy doing it.
Do you ever, I mean, this is probably going to be a stupid question because I'm sure everybody goes through it, but like, do you know when to catch yourself like slacking on yourself sometimes?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's hard sometimes. It's mainly like vanity is a thing, obviously, but I feel like something that I just blanked. Hold on. Something that brings me back from like feeling like I'm not where I'm supposed to be within myself, I feel like it's just taking time to sit with myself and ask like, okay, what happened? How did it affect me? What am I feeling about it? Can I do anything about it? Because I feel like a lot of the things that sometimes I get upset about are things that I can't control. And so then it's like, okay, well, can I do something about this if I can't actively do anything about it? And if I've done my absolute best to achieve the outcome that I want and it's still not happening, is it something that I need to let go?
Yeah.
Like, so it's a lot of looking inward and just being your own grounding. Like, you just have to ground yourself and be like, okay, what is actually the problem?
Yeah.
What is the problem? And how can we get to the solution?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Have you always found yourself being like that, to where it's like you just knew in your life, like you always just wanted to be happy?
Yeah, for sure. Even when I wanted to be like a PA, and I guess they make money, I don't really know, but like, even when I wanted to do that, I just wanted to help people, and like I found happiness in helping people.
No.
I'm an older sibling, so
True.
that has a lot to do with it as well, I think.
Do you think you're like an old soul?
No.
At all?
No.
I think you live here.
I am very much here. I try to be here.
Which is a great thing too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes we get, and I guess this is one of the perspectives that I live into, to where it's like we're just so concerned about the past, and we're also extremely concerned of the future, which is not bad to think about. But I feel like when you kind of remove yourself from the present, you just miss out.
For sure. And that's something that I've been teaching myself, I think.
It's good.
So that's another form of grounding, is like, where am I right now? Like, what's going on? And like, am I like projecting into the future? Am I ruminating in the past?
Yeah.
So that's
like,
another way.
You got to just tell yourself like, wow, I made it here.
Exactly. Like, we're just here.
Bro, because I remember middle school, high school was rough, brother.
Bad.
And it's
Bad.
like, you just didn't think, like, and I don't mean this for it to be any type of, like, I would just say trigger warning, to where it's like, you know, sometimes we didn't think we were going to make it to this age. Just because life just got way too hard.
Yeah.
And we thought, and the funny thing is, we think we know everything back in, like, when we were kids.
For
So
sure.
it's like, we think that was hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, when you get to this adult life now, if you were to ever go back and I could tell my younger self, like, hey, bro, this ain't nothing.
Literally.
You think
like,
you're
girl,
going through it?
You don't even know. You ever had a bill? You ever had a bill? You ever had to wake up and go to work and not want to go to work, but you know you have to go because if you don't get paid, and then you can't pay your bills, and then you're on the street? Yeah, you don't know anything.
You ever had to look at a menu and be like,
You know what taxes are?
You know what taxes are?
Yeah.
You know that they're going to snatch you if you don't pay them?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, you worked all those hours. You think you're going to keep all that money?
You're sure not.
you know what it feels like to just order a water and not your sweet tea?
Exactly.
Girl.
Because you have to sacrifice sometimes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to. You can't have it. You can't have a treat sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
Being an adult is awesome.
It's so fun.
It's
No,
the-
but it actually is.
it actually
No,
is.
it
No,
really
it
is
actually
dope.
is. Because guys, like, we have free will.
We genuinely do.
Like, if I wanted to wake up in the morning and just have a pint of ice cream, like, I just could.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I just can.
Because you can.
And if you wanted to buy, like, a trampoline, like, you just
You
could.
could.
Yeah.
Like, you just could.
You
because
just need
you
to
can.
make the money for it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the
That's
thing.
the thing.
But it's just, I genuinely, because I think about this all the time, bro. Being an adult really is fun.
It's fun.
Like, given, if, of course, the responsibility thing
Yeah.
is always going to have to be there. And that is something that you genuinely have to prioritize, which is something I'm currently working on right now. You know, it's like, because I came from a background to where it's like everything was fun, you know, but I feel like it's come to a time where I've had my fun, you know. I know that I'll have a lot more fun later down the line, and I think it's just this 20s thing.
Yes.
You know, like people want
Dreaded 20s.
people want to have fun in their 20s because this is just that age to have fun, and which is great. But I think, in my perspective, this is just a time where you just gotta grind, dude. I feel like you gotta go ahead.
Oh, no,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, you can go.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, this 20s thing is for you to go through those trials and tribulations and mess up and work your ass off.
For sure.
Because you have to have that experience. I think a whole lot of things get more fun when you turn 30 and 40. I just think that's how, because I would love to just be in a more older perspective, but still keep what I've done for like all these years, because I think I'd be a pretty fun 40-year-old.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'm gonna still be the same person.
Yeah, I was gonna
which I
say.
hope I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, other than that, you just gotta go through it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we were scared of going through as like a high schooler, and just thinking like, this is just going to be dreadful, like being an adult. And it just turns out to be nothing that we've ever expected.
Yeah.
But it's a learning curve, and you learn so much through it.
You know, I know that we talk about, oh man, it's being your 20s, you're supposed to have fun. But when you get older, the fun doesn't necessarily have to stop. I think when you get older and as you mature, your fun just changes. Like, I still have fun. I still have fun all the time.
Yeah.
Now, my fun now versus my fun when I was
I get
16
it.
might be different.
I get
Or
it.
when I was in my early 20s might be different. But I'm still having a blast.
For
like,
sure.
For example, like,
That
you know,
makes so much sense.
yeah, like early 20s, something that would be fun was staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning working on choreography, or, you know, going out with friends or playing a video game. And now my fun is still those things, but my fun is also staying up till 4 a.m. editing a dance video, or
That is
like
fun.
Yeah.
staying on my couch watching a Netflix show
That
with a
is
tub
really
of ice
fun.
cream.
I
like,
love it.
Like I think
love
your
it.
fun changes as you get older. And I
That's
think
a
people
word,
need-
dude. I don't think people are catching that. Your fun changes,
You
dog.
heard it here first.
Yeah, so like if you think, oh man, like my life is boring, yeah, I gotta grind. Absolutely grind, but don't forget to have fun because you're still a human. You're not a computer. If you need to work. If you need to study. You know how many hours you need to study, but you don't have to sit down studying 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. Study for 1 hour. Go do whatever you need to do, but as long as you're consistent with your studying, it's better to study 1 hour a day
Consistency
than
is
to
key.
study 6 hours for 3 days, because it's just the workload. You're gonna overwork yourself, and if you overwork yourself, you're not having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think there's definitely going to have to, I don't know. I think there's just something that we have to figure out within this life to where it's like the balance.
Yes.
You know? There's something
Yeah.
that there's some people say that the balance doesn't exist. There's some people say that the balance does exist. But what truly is that? To where it's like, yes, I have to give myself time to work. Yes, I have to give myself to have fun. Or people are just on that mode to where it's like there is no fun. Like this is just life as an adult. You work. This is what you do.
I think it's just your outlook.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes
Yeah.
down to like you as a person, for sure. Because I feel like, and also like the things that make you, like your experiences in life
Facts.
and like everything that you've gone through. Because I think sometimes with other friends that I have to sometimes come out of myself and realize who it is that I'm talking to and what they've experienced and like what they've gone through in life to make them think the way that they do. Because I feel like not in comparison to some of my friends, it's kind of like sometimes my friends see me and they're like, how can you just be so like lackadaisical? Like, how can you just be so
It's a big
like
word.
carefree about life and like everything is rainbow and butterflies? And I'm like, well, it's not that everything is rainbow and butterflies, but it's kind of just like what you do with what you're given, I guess. Because like, yes, you are a product of your experiences and stuff to a certain degree, but you can make your life whatever you want it to be.
So, question: do you think the person that you are, would you cater to what other people would have to say, or is it like given like in a situation, if your friend is going through something, right? Would you care more to cater to what they're saying and kind of just like, of course, sympathize, but is your first instinct to do that, or is it, do you just want to like have them wake up and be like, this isn't it, like you have
Yeah.
something that you have working on but you just don't see it, you know?
Yeah.
Or could it be too sensitive? I don't know, like what do you think your
No,
take is on that?
I think there's a lot of factors, there's a lot of variables, but I think it depends on who you're talking to. It depends on how close you are with them. It depends on how they receive what it is that you're about to give. If it was a close friend of mine that I felt like I could be, straight up with. I mean, I'm straight up with a lot of people, and people don't really, people don't take that well often, but in my experience, I feel like if there's something genuinely that like I was saying before, have you done everything that you could do in this situation to make it go your way? Is it going your way? No? Then like let it go or decide to do something else. Like for me, not everything isn't black and white, but like sometimes I feel like the solution is more simple than we make it out to be. And so I think
Facts, dude.
a different perspective helps people see that way out. And so that's why I feel like it's important to have community in that sense, because sometimes I feel like when you get in your own space about how you feel about something, it's very easy to just believe that this is what it is and like I can't get out. This is what it is and there's no other way. But like when you have people from an outside perspective be like, hey, like what's going on? And like, you know that you can do this, right? You know that you can do this, you know that you can do that, you know that there's options, you know that there's this or whatever. It kind of brings them out of that rumination like we were talking about before, and like brings them into a point of like, oh, like I didn't know.
But like, where's the line though? Is what I think I'm trying to figure out, because I feel like, because for me as a person, I feel like I can be super passionate with what I say, right? But like, where is that line where you want to cater to like, because you said it all depends. There's all factors that we can go about it to where it's like, maybe I should say this, maybe I should say that, but like, where's the line to where you're being the truest self that you can be with telling them what they think, what you think they need to do, but you're just like, if they're not following you, or like they're not getting like, and you don't want to try to like, basically I'm not trying to be fake. I want to be the realist that I can be.
Yeah.
So where's the line where you think it could be like, okay, I'm gonna try to cater to you, but if you're really just not like understanding what I'm trying to say, maybe it's just, this is where I leave it, because I'm very strong opinionated of what I have to tell you and what I do, what I think is the key to what you're trying to find, but you're just not listening to me.
Yeah, so I think that comes with how often they decide to meet me with that problem. I feel like if you're coming to me with a problem, and initially I'll say, are you asking me for advice, or are you just wanting to be heard? Because I feel like that is a huge issue with communication that happens often. It's like sometimes when people complain, they don't really want advice. Sometimes they just want to be heard. Like sometimes they just want to feel like they're being listened to. And so I can offer, whatever to anybody. But if it's advice that you want, I will offer the advice, and then be like, this is what I think you should do, or like, this is what I would do if if I was in that position. And they either take it or they don't.
Yeah.
I find that I give people a lot of chances. I do. I'm very like, I'll listen to the problem and offer the same solution. I will do that. Like, because sometimes I feel like people are hard-headed sometimes, and sometimes like, it's literally like, if I could put myself in your shoes and do it for you, I would. Yeah. Because it's like, I know that this is what you need to do. Yeah. And obviously, like, you don't know what's best for everybody, and sometimes people literally just need to learn the hard way. Like, that's how I am sometimes. I will admit that. And so that's where I can empathize with some people, because it's like, I'm pretty hard-headed myself. Yeah. And so if I need to learn the lesson the hard way, I'm gonna learn the lesson the hard way. And I will be upfront with people about that. Like, if I'm complaining about something and they offer me advice, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, but I hear you. Like, I hear you, girl. And honestly, you're so right, but I feel like I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. And so then it's like, at that point, I'm freeing that person of any attachment they have to what it is they offered me, because it's like, no, I'm letting you know that this is not how it's gonna go. But if people, aren't that blunt and like simple with it, I feel like there's just a point where like, and I don't know the point, but it's like, you just know that it's like, this is not working. And so then I have to now release myself, because it's like, once it starts bothering me that they're not doing what it is that I'm saying to do, but they're still asking me for advice, I think that's when I stop. Because that makes sense. If it's now if it's now to a point where like I'm being affected by your actions,
like, this can't happen.
I'm like it's not even my problem. Yeah. Like, why am I getting mad? Like, and now I just have to step away from you, because like, okay, girl, this is your problem and now it's mine, and I'm not cool with that. Yeah. Like, that's where, because I got my
own stuff to worry about. Literally, you know what I mean? Like, this is me out of the kindness of my heart to like be giving you this. But if you're not gonna listen to me, then like
no,
why?
No, it's your life. Like, do whatever you want. But like, now I'm getting frustrated, so now I gotta separate.
For sure.
I think that's a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know what your type of like point of view in life is. Like, you really just want to end your life on a happy note of like, you can look back and be like, I've done it. Like, this is great. Yeah. I was happy. I was content with what I did. What do you think your perspective of life is, James?
I think my perspective would be, I think my point of view is helping, but not just. My biggest point of view in life is to help others. I also get a lot of joy from helping, and I think that there are many ways to do that. Now, for me, something that I'm very passionate about is reaching a level of success to where I can help anyone that I want. Yeah, I can be happy with, having, not necessarily, like, when I say levels of success, I'm not saying like having millions. Like, if I want to have millions, I could have millions, sure, whatever. All right, but you don't necessarily have to have that. I can be happy without the millions, but if I were to have those and those resources, I would be able to help a lot more people in a lot more ways, rather than just being happy with where I'm at right now. And you can still help others being at that level, but the way that I see it is, I want to not just help people that I know. I want to help people that I don't know. I want to help generations. I would want to create a generational wealth within, my circle, to where I'm not just helping my family, but I'm helping my children's children. I'm helping my friends' children. I'm helping anyone who I can. I'm helping people across the world. Inspiring people that I don't know, because sometimes inspiring one person and changing that one person's life can create a butterfly effect that could affect other people's lives. So for me, I think a really important thing is to help and inspire. But in order to help and inspire to the scale that I went to, I have to reach a certain level of air quote success.
Yeah,
For sure.
I
I get that.
I do want to say, like, I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure you knew what you were saying. I think you meant like a domino effect, other than like a butterfly effect.
Domino, butterfly, what's the difference?
Well, I think there's a difference.
If you can explain it to me,
I don't know. It's like, I know butterfly effect meant something to where it's like
you make
Dang,
one
what is
change
it?
somewhere. It's like one small change can affect a whole timeline.
maybe it is.
I
the same
think
thing.
they might be the same,
Are
but just
they
in a different way.
in a different way, right?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think
No.
so.
I think the butterfly effect is mainly linked with like time. So it's like, oh, if you go back in time and
If you would have changed this small thing,
like you kill a butterfly, it could
Cause
change
a
the whole
tornado.
course of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, really?
yeah, that's
Okay,
the thing.
well,
To where
I
it's
don't
like,
know.
the way that I think the butterfly effect came to be is where it's like, if the way that a butterfly were to like flap its little wings,
Right.
like would cause a tornado.
Interesting.
It's like that kind of thing. And like the
Okay.
whole butterfly effect of like something, one of the concepts of it is, if this one person, like just to say, if this one politician wasn't like assassinated or whatever, it would have caused this.
OT.
So if something were to be changed within like the space-time continuum,
Okay, heard.
the whole world would change.
Oh,
Which I think
Yeah.
is still very
I'm
linked to the
learning.
domino effect.
I'm
so
learning.
Yeah,
I think that they
I
both
get
go
it.
hand in
I
get
hand.
it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely adjacent.
They're very
That's cool.
complementing each
Um,
other and stuff like that. Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying with my whole point of view in life,
Yeah.
I think that the ultimate point of view in life is to be happy. Now, being happy is different for everyone. For me, it's helping. For others, it's creating, it's building, it's breaking down. Like, it really just depends on what you think your own purpose is. For me, my purpose is helping and creating. These are things that I'm very passionate about. These are things that I think that I'm good at, and these are things that honestly bring me joy and know that bring joy to others. So that's what I'm going to do for myself. And it's also funny because I say happiness, but at the same time, this is going to sound really backward, but I don't think I necessarily have to be happy.
Why do you say that?
Because it's like being if I'm able to do these things and accomplish these things and to be able to if I'm able to protect and able to provide and help others, that on its own will already give me happiness, and I will be content with that because I know that I did my job as a man,
So you're saying within like sacrificing your happiness for the happiness of others.
and that brings me happiness.
Okay, period.
I see that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it makes sense.
It's like full circle,
sure.
kind of.
Because I feel like you're just looking at the betterment of other people
Mm-hmm.
and just like seeing them happy would already just genuinely make you happy. If you had to like, I wouldn't say it's maybe not sacrificing your happiness, but just like sacrificing your time. And I feel like just say you want to, and this is something that I'm definitely learning how to do, is like knowing where to sacrifice my time of like, yeah, this thing might make me happy in the moment, but I know I got to get this done. But then I know it's going to be something for the betterment of someone else in the future. Just say like, if I were to just sacrifice my time here, if I could just work on this more, and then it would help gain me some benefits on like how to make like my kids happy, or like their kids as kids happy. Because as you're going through life, you're constantly planting seeds, but you're not going to be able to know how to plant that seed of like responsibility or like discipline if you're not sacrificing time to do that for yourself.
Yeah.
Even if it means cutting off time to like, I could be going out tonight, but maybe I need to work on this because that's just a responsible decision to do, you know. And it's something that I know, like I'm not a person that like an advocate right now, because of like I can't talk about it because I'm still learning through it on like how to keep these healthy habits of like what to do in my life. But definitely I get what you're trying to say. Like the happiness of others would solely like fuel you up and like make you happy already, even if it meant that you had to sacrifice your time and happiness on doing other things.
Exactly.
For sure.
And so to put everything into a nice burrito or a nice sandwich of comprehension, I would say for me, my point of view is to make a difference.
Okay.
Like do something. Like
Yeah.
I can't
sure.
imagine being someone and not doing anything. Like
Yeah.
not causing or not making a difference in life or society or just anyone.
Yeah.
You know, I can't imagine waking up and not making a change. And it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a big change.
Yeah.
You know, a small change or very small changes can make a big change overall. And so that's what I think is the purpose. If everyone dedicated their life to making a change somehow in a positive light in the world, I think that things would be, I don't want to say things would be a lot better because I don't know. I really don't know anything. But that's just how I would like to live my life.
Yeah.
Nice.
And now I'm going to make that change by fixing the camera.
Oh, as you should. People need to be watching this.
You get it.
Okay, man, we have had some really hot takes.
Yeah.
On like what we think life is, to be honest. And I know I probably still have to say what mine is.
Yes, you do. We're waiting.
Man, it's so hard because I feel like within our perspectives of life, they've constantly changed throughout the years, right? Like I remember what I thought that I wanted to do whenever I was younger, for sure. Like I thought life was like, basically I thought the end of life was like you always had to have a good time. No matter what you did, you always had to have a good time. Like I always need to be hanging out with friends. I need to be partying it up.
Yeah.
I need to be doing all the craziest stuff and all the crazy adventures which I think was very highly influenced with people and also social media, which brings like some things can be put in a good light, but some things can also be put in a bad light to where it's like you're using it for you're trying to motivate you, or you're trying to use it and it's like it just brings insecurity that you're not doing enough because someone at the same age as you is doing more.
Ooh,
you know. So I definitely think it just comes from that type of light to where I thought, okay, this is what my life is supposed to be. You know, I based it solely off on like what I thought people were doing. But now, because everything changes when of course everything starts changing when you start being an adult. And given I wasn't taught a lot when I was a kid of like what everything was supposed to be, and which is why I'm just so grateful now that I'm getting to experience what it really is like to be an adult, you know, and really trying to like push hard on things. And like you said, learning how to like sacrifice time for the betterment of happiness of other people, you know, and learning how to like be happy at the end of life. I feel like my two things, what I think my point of view is in life is that, one, I do not want to be on my deathbed knowing that I didn't make a difference in someone else's life. For sure. Like I want to know that I was able to live the life that I wanted to live, and that my family was secure, that they have something to pass down. They have basically a legacy for them. And it doesn't have to be a legacy that was put out into the world that was amazing. And, you know, it's just a seed that is planted onto one person that could be like my child or their child's child, you know, like just something that I did to affect someone to do good. And so that's number one. I definitely do not want to be on my deathbed regretting anything. And second, I know a lot of people have their everyone has their own different points of view of like religion and like see where they go with it. But I truly believe, for me, is that I shouldn't live my life full of fear when I know that my life is promised by God. And that is just what I feel like solely. And I think it's just what roots me to not worry so much, even though that it also works both ways. Of course, I have to know, I know that my life is promised, but I know that's not going to follow without a work from me, either physically or spiritually. It is what it's going to kind of have to come down to. My life is promised. I know what is promised for me from God, and that I know that God promises everything that is good, and the only thing that is bad, it comes from the enemy. And we have the authority that I can just listen to what God has told me and what he's promised in my life, that I can live a happy and fulfilling life and to see him in the end. That is what I genuinely think. What I also think is when we come to when we get to this end of like I said, when you get to your point of life, everything changes, right? So like you said, the same thing that you had in when you were in high school leading up to your 20s is probably not going to be the same thing that you're feeling when you're like 30 or 40.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? So back then my life was like, I want to go here, I want to party, I want to have fun and do reckless things, I want to have constant adventures all the time. Now, and I tell this all the time to people that I meet, is like my main goal is to just like, I wanted to open up a whole studio back then, you know what I mean, which is great. I think that would, but it's not ideal. What I strive for is to just have a family. That's all I want in life, bro.
I want to challenge you.
What's up?
Why is that not ideal?
For what?
Why can't you open up a studio?
I mean, I'm not saying it's not ideal. It's just, I feel like it all just comes from everyone's perspective. It's like, of course you could ask me that question because you just have a different perspective of life rather than me. But like it's just from what I feel like it all comes from what you went through. And it all follows within, like, just say that, because, you know, me, I'll say it openly, growing up, I didn't have a family. Like, I did say I have a family, but it wasn't rooted with full of love and compassion and being there for each other. So my main goal given was, so I'm not saying it's like a bad selfish, you know, like, but this is what I wanted for me.
Yeah.
You know, but what I'm thinking about now is what I want for others, of like, I want to have a happy wife. I want to have my kids being happy and being secured for whatever they could possibly need in the future. I just want to be able to live that selfless life of like providing, like, if not the sole concept of money, because that's what we're just like, you know, a lot of people are very concerned about in the future, but more for the soul. Of like, what could you need to go through this life, and what are some principles that you can take with you to pass down to other people and that could need help? Because coming from someone who has seen what life can do to you, how can we make it better, and how can I plant that on you? So that you can spread it. And it's like the whole thing with dance, it's like, it doesn't take millions. You know, you don't have to necessarily like share it to the whole world, but if you just plant that seed on one person, it can just share it to like multitudes and a whole butterfly effect of things, like what I'm trying to say. So I think it really has changed to where back then I wanted to open up a dance studio, wanted to travel the world, wanted to all the crazy things, but now I want to be in a house, man.
I was gonna say, I think it also is like different phases of life to change your wants and your desires. So like, that still is a dream that lives within you, but it's like there are priorities that you have that have shifted your, you know, view of like what you see as like ultimate success or like ultimate contentment or something like that. Because it's like, well, now, like, I'm engaged and I'm planning a wedding, and like, bro. And I'm like, this is my life. And like, at one point, dance was your life. So it's like your priorities shift and change so often in life that it's like, it's very common, I feel like, for you to feel differently with different changes that happen in your life.
It's inevitable. Change is going to happen, but it's just how you're going to go through that change. And I feel like it's whatever in your perspective is to see it as scary, but I see it as an opportunity of like, this is fun. What can we do? Like, the possibilities could be endless. You know, there's nothing that could possibly hold me back, especially if you keep yourself within such a strong community with people who are striving the same thing. And also, I surround myself with a lot of like faith-driven people. So it's just such a blessing from God that I had this opportunity to live my life and to like, because back then I could have just lived my life full, like, completely undisciplined. Like, don't, you know, I could have had that free will, but since I was blessed with that free will from God, that I could have this opportunity to make the friends that I have, to experience the things that I experienced, even the bad experiences, which is fine, because you know, every L is not for loss, every L is for a lesson, right? You learn something from there, and then you continue to move forward, and then that's
unless you're a loser.
What was that thing? It was like, whatever made you a loser.
What is that?
You never heard? Babe, where is that from?
I think it's from Camp Rock.
Oh, well, there you go.
Twitches?
It's Camp Rock. It is? Yeah.
Camp Rock.
Whatever major loser. Oh, yeah, the blonde chick.
What?
Yeah.
What? Right?
Yeah.
Ever, that's an E.
Yeah.
Major Loser.
Major loser.
See, I didn't watch Camp
Is it
Rock.
this way?
Oh yeah, you weren't a Disney kid.
I'm not a Disney kid.
Okay, period.
I don't know.
I don't
girl.
remember what the Twitches
It's
was.
something.
Shout out Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Shout out to Cartoon Network and
Period.
Nickelodeon.
I was all three.
for sure.
You had all the Infinity Stones.
I did.
Just-
I did.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like that's basically just wrapping up this topic, right? Is just everyone just has their own unique way of life and how they want to live it. But I feel like it just solely comes from selflessness and community. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the people that truly do love you. Don't waste time. You know what I'm saying? Time is very valuable, and from what we asked you on like that prior episode of like what being an EMT is, being very grateful.
Yeah.
Because it can just be taken like that.
Yeah.
And so you really just got to appreciate the time that you have, and you just got to keep going at this, but know what the purpose is.
For sure.
Of what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. And it's just going to be, someone's going to be able to see that and be inspired and driven from what you've done in your life to want to continue to do that as time flies by.
I did it again.
And you
It's
did
okay.
it again. 2 episodes in a row,
guys,
I think.
I don't know.
2
man.
episodes in a row, I think.
I'm a goofy goober.
I'm a goopy goober.
We did talk about this.
My mom always says that I am, bro. So she beats me so much when I was a kid.
But yeah, I mean, on to lighter topics, right?
Okay.
And there was another thing that I did want to talk about, and it's like going down this road of what the world has come to.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Brain rot.
This is lighter topics?
Oh, no.
I don't know. It's like lighter. It's just funny to talk about, like the whole brain rot era of our world, and like all these words,
Skibidi toilet.
skibbity toilet,
Skibbity.
and I don't get it. I'm gonna let you mention something because I really need a pee.
About that. I get it.
All right. Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to mention, but I will just talk. So, Bree, do you know what skibidi means?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you know what? I was gonna say, do you know what toilet means? But that wouldn't make any sense because he's running to one right now.
Right.
What?
I got it.
Do you know? Me and Carl, we talked about this previously in another episode when we were talking about Gen Alpha slang. And I'm not sure if you saw that one because I think you probably just subscribed today, but I won't tell him.
No.
It's okay, I won't tell him. But do you have any Gen Alpha slangs that you hear a lot? It's okay if you don't, because if you don't, it's probably for the better that you don't.
Okay, Gen Alpha. Like, okay, I'm going to say no for now because at the moment I can't even think of one that would possibly be.
Okay.
I mean, I know like Gen Z stuff.
Okay.
But how far apart are they really?
Well, all right, I'm going to give you some random words, and
Okay.
I want you to let me know if you have heard them.
I
okay?
love this game. Okay, I'm ready.
Sigma.
Isn't that like when people make that dumb face? Like they do that stupid face.
Oh, the hold on, the jawline thing.
Yes. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it means. No, I don't know that.
Listen, I think that we've just taken that word and we've created a new definition for the word Sigma.
What does it even mean?
Sigma. What
Enlighten
is Sigma?
me.
Let me look up what Sigma means. But I know besides Skibidi Toilet, Sigma, I can't think of anything else. What else do they say?
Wow.
Do you feel better?
I remember there was a whole thing with Ohio one time when there was just a whole bunch of shit going on in Ohio.
Isn't there a TikToker or someone who says like, "Hey, brother"? or
Yeah,
something?
There
yeah,
was.
yeah,
That
that's
was
a new
that
one,
was
right?
sketch.
Sketch.
I wouldn't really call that brain rot, to be honest.
'Cause
I
I
think
was
it was just
like-
like a nice little trend that people were going like, "What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?"
Yeah, I had no clue
Tuesday,
what that
Tuesday,
was.
Special teams, special plays. Shout out to you, Sketch. You're great.
I had
love him.
no idea who that was.
Oh
or
my
what
gosh,
that meant.
we have a whole list.
Of brain rot stuff or just
Brain rot words.
can you please
Oh,
read
I'm
them
so
out to
ready
me?
for
Yeah. Okay.
this.
So it says only in Ohio.
Yeah.
Only in Ohio.
I don't know what
is a
that
brain
means.
rot term.
But what does that do?
What
They
does that
tell you?
mean?
I don't know.
I think maybe just like crazy things
If you
happen
guys
in Ohio.
down in the comments, please, like, if you could put a list of
let us
definitions
know.
of what these words mean.
We don't know.
I only know one thing. Apparently, GAT
Yeah.
is an acronym.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently,
does that
it means
mean?
girl, yo ass thick.
Okay, period.
Yeah. Like that, and then if you look at the letters for get, like it just makes sense.
GYAT.
GYAT. How
Whoa.
interesting.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's crazy.
It now
Almost.
makes sense to me.
For sure. And then, they got Skibbity. That's like the main one. Goon. Apparently Andrew Tate's part of this whole brain rot thing. Baby Gronk. We can all blame Livy Dunn for that.
What
Who's
is that?
I don't know. This is all of us just trying to figure out what the heck these terms
Like,
mean.
what does that even mean?
Baby
I don't know,
Gronk?
man.
Baby
You know what I
Gronk?
think? I think we're just bored.
Mm-hmm.
I think the whole country is just bored, and we're just trying to figure out some new things to like
You know what
lighten the mood.
You know what I actually think it is?
What do you think?
I think we have our own I think we generationally have our own set of things that we say, or how we talk, or whatever slang. And if the prior generations don't get it, it's just this is brain rot. This
Yeah.
is so stupid.
You think so?
This is ridiculous. But then when you're in the era, it's this is so funny.
You know what? I agree with you 10,000%.
You know what I mean?
I
'Cause
do.
I think we just don't get it, and it's
Yeah.
okay that we don't get it. But it's they're just having fun with their little phrases and their
Yeah.
little slangs. We think it's stupid because we don't get it.
Yeah.
Kind of low key. That's how I feel about a lot of things. If somebody. It's when you have an outfit on that you think is so fire, and then somebody comments and they're like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen." You're like, "You just don't get it."
For sure.
You just don't get the vision.
No, I
Sorry.
think that makes a lot of sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you remember when we were in high school? Well, maybe not. We were in high school because I'm a little older than
I went
you.
to a high school very different from yours, but let's talk about it. Maybe we had some similarities.
But do you remember the whole era when we had the whole 360 no scope, the whole mountain?
That was middle school for me.
The whole
Yeah.
360 no scope, Mountain Dew, MLG.
Yes.
That was
The
all,
meme
that was
face
all
that would
brain
go
rot.
like this.
It's the way.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
idea
The
what they're
memes.
talking about.
All right, just
Really?
how about this? Just memes in general, the OG memes.
Did
Damn, Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
Back at it again.
Back at it again with the white vans.
That was
Oh my
really
gosh,
funny.
what?
But now thinking about it, I'm like, that okay.
It was really dumb.
What is that even okay?
Yeah.
There was before TikTok, there was Vine.
Exactly.
But before, I don't know if this was the same era as Vine, but musically.
I was
Yeah.
thinking that you were going to say that.
Does anyone remember musically?
I never used it.
Never used it.
I just remember watching a whole lot of videos, because
Yeah.
the one thing that was really big back then that everyone just loved to watch was just a whole lot of Vine compilations.
Yeah.
And musically compilations.
They were good.
But I guess that was our generation of brain rot.
That
It
was our
was.
brain rot,
It was
yeah.
brain rot. At the time, now they're, there's a term for
I
it.
just think that
Yeah.
the whole term of it was just I feel is just two things. Is just one, everything that could be useless to our brain.
Mm-hmm.
That we don't need this. We could be filling our brain up with more intellectual things.
For sure.
But instead we scroll through social media and we death scroll, and this
Yeah.
is what we see.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of meme I feel is a brain rot. We don't need to know this, but it's funny, and we just love to cloud our brain with it, because I could be going through my day and I could just randomly think of a meme and I'll just bust out laugh,
Right.
because it's just something that made my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think brain rot is a generational thing that every single generation has. I think you were absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't really think about
They
it.
just have a
No,
term
it's
for it
true.
now.
Yeah, brain
called
I
rot.
brain
was
rot.
literally okay, because honestly, I say this so often, and if you know me, you know that I say this, but I will say I've never owned an original thought.
Oh,
I
Facts.
have never.
No,
owned an
hold on, wait.
Genuinely, because it's all we know is memes
yeah.
and movies and references and stuff, and I am the queen of references.
Yeah.
Genuinely,
What's your number one?
okay, well, there's a lot of things that
Yeah,
I
you
say.
put her on
There's a
spot.
lot of things that I say. I say slay very unironically.
For sure.
As most people do, I feel like. I
Slay.
say for the girlies because we are for the girlies. I say slay the house down boots. Houston, I'm deceased.
What? That's new. I haven't heard that before.
Because we slay the house down boots. Houston, I'm deceased. I say boots.
Oh,
if something just looks good, you're just boots.
That's all one
What
thing.
does that mean though?
It's just like a sleigh. Like it's a sleigh. Like it's the major sleigh. There's also, what else do I say? There's a lot of things. I don't know. And I feel like I talk in references. Like
Wow.
that's
I feel like a
my
lot of
form
people
of
do that.
communication.
Okay.
I think that's so like a thing though, because like I feel like the way that because I'm heavily like influenced by like a lot of movies and a lot of like TikTok videos to where it's like that's your vocabulary.
Literally, and I think it's so cute. Like I think it's so cute of
But
us
it's
to just
even
like take things from
But
people. and
it's
just be
even
like,
funnier when you have friends that get it.
No, that's what
No.
I'm saying.
It,
Yeah.
it only
genuinely
works
a
when you
different-
have friends.
It only
that
works
get
when you
it.
have because if you were to
different
say
language.
if you were to say it with a different context, you'd be like, and you don't want to be surrounded by people that are just confused with everything that you say.
No, when I tell you,
You are
I
your
was
friends.
I was in the hospital for clinical the other day, and I was like talking to my nurse, and I felt like we were around the same age, so I was just like being a girly, like I was just kikiing with her, and kikiing like we're kikiing, and so then like I would say
frick is
something
that?
like slay or like something like whatever, and then she would just kind of look at me, and I'd be like, oh, you don't get it. Got it. I know what company I am amongst.
Okay.
Good.
Or like you're done.
You're done. You're done. You're done.
If I walk up to you and I say, "Is mayonnaise an instrument?" and you don't get it, I'm sorry.
You're wrong.
We can't be friends.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're
Yeah,
wrong.
You're in the wrong. You should leave now.
You're wrong.
You're not
Or
accepted.
like, don't you have to be stupid somewhere else? And it's like that's not until
Right.
like 4
Right.
p.m.
Or it's like, yeah, E minor.
Yeah, all right, E minor.
E minor, yay!
Exactly.
Whoever's parked in front with a green sedan.
You left your lights on.
See, this is why we're friends.
And it just makes sense.
No, but it's like if you I feel like that has to be a requirement. If you don't know, well, I mean, like I give an exemption for my fiance because she doesn't watch SpongeBob.
Yeah, I
But
get it.
like,
There's
if you don't know
certain-
SpongeBob,
Boo, Jasper.
no, but you don't know a lot.
Boo.
You don't know a lot.
SpongeBob reference. I mean, it's okay. You're
Like
the
how the
dictionary.
are ya?
Exactly.
You know, like
Oh yeah.
if you don't, I think a basic requirement for friends is like if you don't know SpongeBob terms,
Yeah.
study.
Like if I say a SpongeBob reference around you and I notice that you're not getting it, it's like, okay, we need some classes. Like we
Yeah.
need some tutoring because this is actually my vernacular. And if you don't get it, you don't get it, and we can't do this. Like we can't do this.
I'm gonna do this real quick.
Bro, I could never do that with Sandra because she watched SpongeBob in Serbian.
Oh,
What?
That's kind of
Yeah.
cool though.
Wait,
Imagine
what
that.
Was, what was the scene where like SpongeBob is choking Mr. Krabs and
Yeah.
getting mad at him about a dime?
Yeah.
What do you think that sounded like in Serbian?
Angry. I don't know.
Just like yelling. Just like yelling a lot of
Okay,
Bitch, come on, Teresa.
it. I'm so weak.
okay. Here, what about this? Right.
All right.
So, Pinhead.
Larry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Are these okay?
Yeah. Living like.
Larry.
Okay, so then, okay, so what does SpongeBob tell you to use in order for you to be creative?
Imagination.
There we go.
I love this game.
And then what about what did the magic conch say?
No.
No. Or
No.
please try asking again in another tone. No.
We have technology.
Exactly.
Yo, keep going with this. It's actually really fun.
These are actually really if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't like SpongeBob, you're a girl.
Am I a pretty girl?
See, it's like
Oh my gosh. The one that I've been using unironically is, it's so cold. I'm shivering.
Open sesame.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way,
Exactly.
for all of our
I
listeners,
found my people.
for all of our listeners, please feel free to play
Headphone
along.
warning.
Yeah,
seriously, like
play along with us.
No, this is fun.
Yeah, but you have to answer immediately because we're doing the same thing.
okay,
Exactly.
what about the east?
I thought you said wheat. Wheat. What kind of compass are you reading?
Dude,
that?
you remember the time where they went to the department store?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they go.
The gas
And they were,
mask?
I was going to say,
Those-
the freaking perfume aisle. Yeah. That was sick.
Okay.
Oh, remember when they
man.
were like playing that game and it was like, escalators.
Escalators.
Eels. Yeah.
Okay, what about let's finish the sequence right here, right?
Okay.
So, ow!
Yeah.
Little.
Exactly.
little.
And this is the beauty of friendships. Like, if you know SpongeBob terms, we're automatically gonna be friends.
Yeah.
Waiter.
Wait,
Waiter.
That was Jackie Celsius.
This is my favorite episode. I promise you, if we can talk about SpongeBob all day. Okay, if we're just gonna bring up SpongeBob, right? I don't like how they evolutionize the animation for it.
Yeah, I try not to watch it anymore.
I think the older animation of SpongeBob is way better.
Season 1 specifically.
Season 1
entirely.
But do
has
we
to
think
be.
it's better just because it's what we grew up with?
Genuinely. Oh no, I just think they were just more subtle with jokes. If you watch the new SpongeBob episodes, they're so like direct, and it just doesn't make it funny anymore.
Yeah, when it flies over your head, it's so good.
Until it's like when you watch it as an adult.
Exactly.
It's like, oh.
And then it's even more funny.
I haven't really watched SpongeBob in a while, the new episodes. I don't know
No,
what
it's
like.
horrible, dude. It's
I've
horrible.
not
You don't
watched it.
Just watch the older ones.
I
dude.
only ever watched seasons 1 through like 4.
I
remember
the
when
last time I had a piece of chocolate. I hated it.
You just can't wait for me to die, can you?
Sweet.
You rub it on your skin, and it makes you live forever.
Your Patrick voice is immaculate, I must say. I've never
All right,
heard
Patrick,
anything
go
like
ahead
it.
and open the door. Hey, how you doing?
I love you. I love you.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on.
That
And
just
then-
sent me. That sent me into orbit.
It's like, and then remember when Squidward was eating all those Krabby Patties, like in the vault, and it was like, "What's gonna happen? Am I gonna blow up?" It's like, "No, worse. It'll go straight to your thighs." It's like,
And then you'll blow up.
It's like, yo, that's wild.
oh my god.
But how did SpongeBob know that?
Ooh, tea.
it must have, bro? I don't know how he ever caught those thighs.
He must have seen it before.
He had to have.
Or like when he was in that weightlifting competition, he like went all the way out to this guy having a little bonfire, which I don't know how makes sense.
Oh,
Bonfires
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
Oh,
who
yeah, no,
knows?
you know what,
And
there-
then he's like, "Can I borrow a cup of these?" He's like, I do that all the time.
Okay, what about this?
You know what's funny though? There was actually an episode where they lit a fire, and Patrick was like, "You know what? We're in the middle of the ocean." How's there? And then the fire went out.
Talk about it, because I remember that.
It just the IQ level of comedy was just top tier.
Top tier.
Okay, I think it'll be a good one if we do this as the last one, right? Because I do want to get into a different topic. So, yellow,
Pink.
you do
Care. You do care. Yep.
Oh,
Aw,
man,
man.
dude, I love SpongeBob.
Yeah,
I
me too.
love SpongeBob, dude.
Pretty weenie.
Okay, so that wasn't even a topic we were gonna talk about. We just love
We
SpongeBob. That we
snuck it
just
in
kind
there.
of went through an entire thing with SpongeBob. But now we're just gonna put a couple of these out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So James and I were planning on thinking about putting out some shower thoughts,
Okay.
and it's basically the whole idea of like, for example, how does Tylenol know where to go?
Yeah.
Maybe people have a very
I think it's just metabolism. Like it's the same as any food that you eat or drink that you drink.
facts.
Like it just filters through wherever. Like
You know what was funny? I was talking to RJ about it yesterday, and I asked him, where does Tylenol even go? And he says there's actually studies from Oxford or Harvard or whatever that they actually don't know how Tylenol works.
oh,
It just works.
how it
That's
works.
not.
Well,
Yeah.
it must be some sort of like some sort of placebo effect, and also
Maybe.
it has to do with like
Maybe.
advertisement and marketing.
They could
This'll
all
help
just be
you feel
sugar
better.
pills.
It could be.
This
Yeah.
helps you feel better than you
It does.
just automatically think that it makes you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have some shower thoughts.
Okay.
I like to share some shower thoughts with you guys. Here we go. So I'm going to say the one that I said earlier,
Okay.
where dogs must think that elevators are just teleportation devices.
Yeah, I think they kind of probably feel like
They don't.
where
know.
am I going? And then all of a sudden it's like you're outside and it's like, oh, like this is where I wanted to go, but I just didn't know what was happening for a second. Like,
Or maybe they're just so happy that they're just unaware.
well, some dogs hate elevators.
Oh,
Like
never
I
mind.
had a friend who would never take her dog in an elevator because they just couldn't handle it, and then don't let there be another dog in there because then it's an issue.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's just like a moment of confusion, and then they're like, oh, this was what I wanted. Okay.
And then there's another one where it's like, I don't know if I get this, but maybe you guys will get it. A broken clock is right twice a day, but a working clock is wrong the whole day.
That makes sense.
A
you
working clock is wrong the whole day?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You
Why
said
is
you
it
get
wrong
it.
if it's working?
Okay, so at least I get the broken clock part, because if the clock is broken at 3 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock twice, because
Right.
it's 3 a.m. and it's 3 p.m. So there are going to be 2 moments in a day within the 24 hours that clock is going to be correct.
Okay.
Now, with the clock being wrong throughout the whole day, that part doesn't really make much sense to
I
me.
mean, I guess technically, I'm wondering if they're talking about like being in different time zones.
That maybe.
Like,
But a working clock is wrong the whole. Maybe that
if
actually
it's
know what?
makes
working,
sense.
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
working, it's not going to be correct
Yeah.
in like other countries.
That
Facts.
makes sense. Yo, how did we
No.
go from having rocks and sticks to having Bluetooth?
Whoa.
Like
It's
we
just
we
people
just
with-
Don't
had
even like blow my mind like that.
yeah.
People with brains and technology, dude. I
It's
just really
different.
don't get it, bro.
We just looked at some rocks and we were like, radios.
Exactly. You ever thought about like radios? Like, what if we just did that?
What's a question that like clouds your mind that you just like? I want to know
I
what
feel
goes on in the brain of Brie.
I feel like I do have questions. Okay, so like,
Who cuts the barber's hair?
who cuts the barber's hair? I mean, I cut my own hair, so I don't know.
Do you really?
I do.
Oh,
I also cut my own hair.
Do you?
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to cut my hair, dude.
Yeah, you do. It's
I mean,
expensive.
the thing is, I'm so loyal to my barber, but then
Okay,
it's
that's
like
fair.
if I really just, just to cry, that just saves a lot of money for you to just know how to cut your own hair.
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Do you guys think that water is wet?
There you go. That was one question I've always wanted to ask myself.
You know what?
I love this debate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Water is wet.
What did
Explain
you think?
yourself. Water is not wet.
Water has the ability to be itself, which is wet, and also to change other.
Yeah, no,
This
talk
is-
about it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so hear me out. I might sound like an idiot in this conversation, or I'm gonna sound like a genius.
Honestly, either way,
Okay,
I'm
so
craving the answer.
water is wet, but can also make other things wet. And now you're thinking, how can water itself be wet when it makes other things wet? I don't know. I don't like
I
this
feel like I'm
question.
high
anymore.
right now, dude. I
Right.
feel like I'm high right now.
No,
Ow.
water's not wet.
Okay, well,
You don't
you
think so?
explain
No.
it to me.
No, because water makes things wet. That's the only
But
reason.
it's not wet.
It is not
You're
wet
not
in
defining
itself.
it as wet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like water is just not wet. Water
But-
is water.
But water. I see what you're saying, but I'm not agreeing with you.
That's fair. It's a very complex argument, I think.
So we can just agree to disagree.
Let's do it.
Because this podcast episode will never end. if we
Let's
do.
do it.
It really won't.
Because I'm a yapper.
Dude, I will yap about did you guys know you can never slam a revolving door?
Yeah.
Slam-
That's
oh.
pretty cool.
Yeah, you
I
you
don't
can,
walk. I
you
don't
can
like
slam it against
revolving
something.
doors.
As like you got to put something in between. I'll tell you that.
I don't like
Wait.
revolving doors. They kind of scare me.
Oh, are you afraid of small spaces?
Are you like claustrophobic?
Yeah.
Dude, I am.
I don't.
Oh, are you asking me?
know. I actually don't know. Like, I've never been put in a situation where I'm in a small confined space. Like, I enjoy going to concerts and like being in the crowd with people,
Mhm.
and that's sort of claustrophobic feeling. But I've never truly felt like claustrophobic. I've gotten stuck in an elevator once,
Oh,
and I felt okay because it was a pretty big elevator, and it was just me and another person.
okay. Maybe you're not then.
Maybe not.
I remember like crawling into like a space when I was like on a ship, and bro, like I didn't think I had anything that had to do with like like being claustrophobic until I got into that space.
Yeah,
and
you're
I just
really.
saw-
I know, for real.
dude, my eye was dying.
That
bro.
went into his spinal
Dude.
cord
dude.
Yo, Carl was.
in a different dimension.
You're abusing that
Like,
left eye,
Dude,
bro.
it
Carl-
itches, dog. I don't know. This left eye has been itching for days.
Get into it.
It's the third day out here, bro.
It's my third day.
Oh
I
man.
don't know. But yeah, bro, I remember just like being in a very claustrophobic space, and I didn't think I had that fear until like I felt walls just like touching my arms, and I had to like wiggle,
Oh no.
and my breath just started to go like,
Yeah.
I need to leave. And I was just trying to kick myself out of this space. When I finally got out of there, bro, I just kind of just sat there, and I was just like, holy shit, I'm claustrophobic. Like, I don't like tight spaces.
See, and that's the thing. I feel like anybody wouldn't like that. Actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. Because there are people who do like, you know, have you ever seen the cave
Yeah. Oh my.
diver?
Oh
people?
my gosh. Those people are crazy.
They
They're
have
wild.
to sometimes like literally exhale to be able to fit into these tiny spaces, and I'm like, how do you get out?
How do you find fun in that?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I need to breathe.
I can't do it.
That's gonna be the thing. It's just like I cannot be in a claustrophobic space, bro.
Mm-mm.
What's your number one fear? What do you think?
Oh, probably. Come back to me.
Yours.
My mom.
Oh. T.
Could I?
If I could think about the things that have scared me the most, my mom.
Is there a name for a mom phobia?
I got it.
Okay, we'll
I
get back
got
to you
it.
then.
I have a very irrational fear of like very giant things. Like, let me explain. So, have you ever seen a windmill like up close?
No.
Kinda. No, I
They're
don't think so.
giant. They are ginormous. And honestly, I am so scared of that. Like, things that I feel like should not be large but are large. Like, have you ever seen the it's like in Williamsburg, it's like an abandoned thing, and it's like these giant heads, like these giant busts of like presidents. Yes.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Terrifying.
That would scare you if you were just walk
Terrifying.
through it.
I could not do it.
Oh
Like,
my
I
goodness.
don't I have a thing with like statues that are really big. Like I don't like going to the Lincoln Memorial, really. It kind of like freaks me out. I just don't like really giant things.
Okay. I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Have you ever stood next to an adult horse?
I try not to.
Okay.
I try not to because they are so big.
They're huge.
And the thing about it is they're also so unpredictable.
Oh yeah.
Like, horses for some reason really scare me too, because not only are they big, but they're just like animals, and like animal, you just never know what I'm just scared it's gonna bite me.
You can get not even that. Like, see, just imagine getting kicked with their rear legs, bro.
You're
Yeah,
dead.
I'd be Toast.
Crushed.
Have you ever thought about how big signs on highways actually are?
I try not to.
Because they're pretty.
I really try
Right,
not
you're
to.
like-
Because the
They're
thing
huge.
is, like if I could not climb up there and like physically stand next to it, like it would freak me out.
I want to see if I can try and find a reference.
It would.
Ho ho ho!
I don't do mascots either. Like
I was
I
just-
can't stand mascots. Oh,
Bro, it just we were just talking about it. It just came to my mind.
I got it now. I
It
got
means he's
it.
afraid of Santa Claus.
Stop! Don't do that! You're scaring him. Stop the magic! You're scaring
I just got that. Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're doing to you right now.
Just really, really big. I can't
we're like
handle it.
testing your phobia right
Which
now.
is so weird because
Mount
it's
Rushmore.
like no, because I'm far away from that.
Here, show
I'm
her
far
this
enough
picture.
for it to not affect me. Yeah, like I don't.
Have you ever actually-
I don't like that. Like,
There-
I
like,
don't.
we
I
don't-
don't. I don't like that.
We
It
don't
makes
think
my
about it.
toes curl. Like
We don't
I
think
don't
about it.
like it. It's so weird though, because like planes don't bother me. Like I mean, maybe I've stood by a plane before, but it was one of those tiny planes to where it's like there's only one seat per.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one seat
But if
like
I
on
were
one.
to stand
Okay.
next to like the freaking Hawaiian Airlines plane that's like 3 rows across and it's like massive, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Is it just because you think you're gonna be crushed, or like
It just makes me very uncomfortable.
that one? What's that one fear of like seeing multiple holes?
Trypophobia. I also have that.
trypophobia. You have that?
That is
Hate
creepy.
trypophobia.
That
Yeah.
is creepy.
Here, I want to show you some pictures.
I would love to not see those. It
I'll
would.
look it up.
I'm gonna pull them up.
I'm
just
not
in
gonna
case.
look. I'm not gonna look because that freaks me out. Like that sends shivers down my spine.
Okay.
I think it's, I don't know why it just brings such an unsettling feeling. It's like that. I feel like it's the concept of like, it shouldn't look like that.
It should not.
It shouldn't.
Like it's not right.
but we see things that shouldn't look like the way that it's supposed to be, like all the time. Like, why is it that one thing?
I don't know.
You know what? I'm not gonna show this to you.
It's okay.
It's bad,
I
isn't
wasn't
it?
gonna look anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it, but it's not right.
It's wrong. It's so wrong.
It's not
I will
right.
never forget the first time I recognized that I had that fear. I was like reading an article or something, and there was a picture of like a muscle or something, and I was like, why does it look like that? Like, why does it look like that? And I didn't like it.
I
And ever
think
since then.
it's the worst when it's on like human skin.
Exactly.
Eesh. Oh, like when you see the hand.
Stop.
I mean, that's-
Immediately
It's
no.
weird, isn't it?
Immediately no.
But then it's like, okay, but the thing is though, like if you were to see a honeycomb, would that,
No, honeycombs don't bother me.
is it
Okay.
just because it's in that shape, or is it just because it's like, because you know honeycombs are like what, like hexagons? What the fuck is wrong? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
is it just the holes?
I think I've never seen one that big. Like I've only ever seen a honeycomb when it's like really small. I've eaten honeycomb before.
This episode is probably gonna bring like chills down people's spines.
No,
Like,
I know. Trigger warning.
We should do a phobia episode one day.
That would be.
one of these days we
Yeah.
will. One of these
Yeah.
days
That'd
we
be
will.
It's like exposure therapy.
Yeah.
Exposure therapy is the thing.
And we'll we'll put a whole bunch of pictures and stuff so you guys can all get a laugh and feel tingly.
See,
and
you're
nice and
really gonna like.
warm, nice,
Ugh.
fat, and sassy inside.
No. No.
Yeah, we'll do
No,
that.
but for real, like I saw a windmill up close one time, and like I've just never been the same since.
I truly think that we have covered everything that we were supposed to talk about, and I think this has just been such a talk. Ew.
Oh, stop. Stop.
Hey, listen, I was only showing Carl.
I know. And honestly, I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see it,
Gosh.
but I knew.
This is why I was like, let me just not show
Oh.
her.
But I knew what
Dude,
you were doing.
I can just imagine like.
Hey, you don't gotta describe it.
I just knew.
Oh,
It's okay.
goodness.
I almost flipped
It's
this
okay.
thing over.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Run
but
it back.
I,
You'll
That
be
was
able to
so
see.
bad.
You'll be able to see. I almost flipped this out of my
listen,
hand.
I wouldn't do that to you, but maybe there is going to be a phobia episode, and we'll just put a little disclaimer.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so
We're
much.
just this is not
Absolutely.
good. Like that was just so bad. Dude.
It was bad, right?
Oh,
I
Yeah,
understand it. I understand people who
Well,
have that phobia.
I think,
Honestly.
like I said, we've just covered everything that we were supposed to talk. God, that just put an unsettling feeling. Like I got scared, dude.
No, it's a real fear.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, well, we have been going on and on for like an hour.
We
and
have.
I honestly think this has been like such a great chat up.
Yes.
I love you being on the show. This
No,
is
I'm
such a
so
great.
happy to be here.
Well,
I'm so
except the
honored.
phobia part.
Yeah,
It's
sorry
okay.
about that.
No, I need to experience that.
Exposure therapy.
I need to get over it.
Just think about SpongeBob.
Just
Well,
Exactly.
don't think about SpongeBob because he has holes in him.
See, and that's the thing. It's like I don't have an issue with him. I don't. Like
okay.
it's my comfort.
It's just a comfort thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for tuning into the episode. You guys have been giving us like such big support on the podcast. And I don't think we put this out. But like thank you for 300 subscribers.
Oh yeah, we are at 3.
Like
did
we're
we-
at 300 subscribers on YouTube, which is such a crazy milestone. I think is cuz
It's amazing.
that's wild. Like
We're
I
at-
never would have thought.
316 now.
We're at 316. Well, yeah, I mean after she followed.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Got it.
Day
I
one.
count the subscriber count every single day. I am on the
Period.
Instagram and TikTok every single day.
I love
I was actually watching the live of like us getting 100.
Oh really? Oh yeah,
subscribers.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I took a video of
Yeah,
it
you
and I
put
was
it on
like,
your
wow, we
IG.
actually got to 100 subscribers.
Oh, that's
I
so
never would have thought.
cute.
Yeah, it's just I don't like we really appreciate it. It's all the little things that we really do appreciate from you guys. So thank you so much for that. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe on this video. We hope that you guys enjoyed this little series of Bree being on the pod. It has been extremely fun for the both of us, and I don't know, it just works. It just works.
Loved it.
By the way, Bree, I know that you've been at day one. It's okay. I'm just pulling your leg. All right.
I know.
We
Thank
talked
you.
about it. We talked because I told you
Yeah.
stories about like how Bree just went up and just started asking about the
I
podcast
did.
Yeah.
from like day one. So
Bree's an OG.
Bree's an
Support
OG.
it. I really do. I love the dream.
like this if you have been an OG for instance.
For
like day one.
real.
We'd like to see that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like the last episode,
Period.
you guys know how we end these episodes here.
Correct.
On a count of 3, we hit it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, baby.
Of course. Thank you.
I love you for that.
Love y'all.
And we'll always love you, James.
It's okay. I didn't reach out for one.
No, it's
know,
okay.
dude.
It's okay, but I
Thank
met
you
you where
guys
you
for
were.
tuning in. We are about to sign out in 1, 2, 3. Good night, everybody.
Good on everybody. Doesn't it make
Thank
sense
you,
to do
Chicago.
3, 2, 1? You're
Maybe it should be 3, 2, 1. I'll change it up next episode.
Either
Yeah,
way,
that's what
it works.
Love y'all so much. Love you, Pookie.
do it in
Love you,
Spanish.
cookies.
3, 2, 1. Good night.